And it's your boy, Sean the Navigator, man. I know I said I was gonna go live at 5 o'clock this morning. What can I say, man? I was tired. I needed some rest. You know, there's been a lot of stuff, man, on my plate, man. I've been going through a lot of things lately, man. So I decided to go and give me some rest. So it is what it is, man. A lot of folks don't realize that those of us who do YouTube, the vast majority of us do have lives outside of this. The vast majority of us do work 9 to 5s in addition to this. You know, we go through things, you know, and we have to balance the YouTube with, your daily lives. So if I don't hop on YouTube when I necessarily say I hop on YouTube, man, it ain't because I'm not trying to fulfill what I say. It's real life happening. The real recognize and they understand though. So, shout out to my day ones that have been rocking with me ever since the very, 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 very first video I shot back in, you know, I'm talking about first actual video that I shot back in 2018, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all know what it is. But yeah, man, every relationship that I go through teaches me something different, you know. And without, getting into too much details and throwing too much shade, because, I still care an awful lot about said individual, still love said individual. What this most recent relationship that I was in taught me is, you know, especially with me being the type of man that I am, a man of principle and moral excellence that follows the Most High and does his utmost to comport and conduct himself in the level of decency. Any woman that I deal with, you know, I I have to make sure that I'm a priority to her and not just an option. You know, anytime you become just an option and not a priority to a woman, you need to just go ahead and cut ties as soon as that happens. As soon as you are not her priority, you gotta cut that off. You know what I'm saying? Anytime the level of respect that you once had in a relationship has dissipated and you've become something that, you know, like a recreational hobby to her. Once you become a recreational hobby to her or something that she feels like she can get back to when she can get back to, yeah, that's when you got to cut her loose, man. You never want to become an option to a woman. You always want to be a priority to her, man. And that's what my most recent relationship taught me. You know, you have to be her priority. Once once it is not that anymore, it's only downhill from there, man. I appreciate the two that are in the chat. I don't know who they are, you know, but shout out to y'all, man. Um, Shout out also to the two that have liked the video. As y'all come into the stream, man, make sure y'all hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can leave a comment in the chat to let me know that y'all are here and that y'all are appreciating uh, the information that you're being given, man, I would gladly appreciate that. Hang on a second, man. I'm gonna have to do something because yeah, while I'm doing this video, man. I'm gonna have to put my do not disturb stuff on, man. You know, hopefully that'll cause all these notifications that's jumping on my phone to dissipate while I'm going live with y'all, man. But yeah, man, most definitely for all my brothers out here, man, just be careful how much energy we put into women, man. Be careful how much energy you put into women, especially when you still out here trying to reach the levels that the Most High wants you to get to. If you haven't, if you haven't fully reached those levels, man, I wouldn't take any woman seriously at this point. I ain't saying, I mean, we still men, you know what I'm saying? Especially those of us who are in our 30s, 40s. We might, you know what I'm saying? There might even be some brothers listening that's in their 50s, man. If you're in that age, if you're in the age range, you know, you pretty much setting your ways and you pretty much know whether or not you're gonna deal with a woman, man. Well, Already Jaden, man, shout out to you. Yeah, fasting definitely does help, and I know that from experience, man. And I do fast intermittently. I have when I first came back to my hometown of Houston, man, I was almost 260 pounds. Now I'm sitting at about 229 pounds, right around the 225 to 230 range. So yeah, it definitely helps. You know, fasting also from not just from a physical standpoint, but from a spiritual perspective. A man that can conquer his belly can conquer anything. I'm gonna say that again. A man that can conquer his belly can conquer anything. You know, and that's the problem with a lot of men. You know, they make their belly their idol. You know, you know, but it's definitely important to fast on a regular basis. Now, how long you decide to fast, that's up to you, and also up to, you know, what type of, you know, medical history you have too. You have to take that into consideration because, you know, if you have a medical history that would, you know, make fasting something that would, you know, endanger you, then you just probably need to maybe just change your eating habits if you have bad eating habits first. I ain't saying don't fast, but if you have some things you need to shore up with your eating habits, shore that up first before you start fasting. You know, that's very important. But and also getting back to fasting because you can fast until you blue in your face. You know what I'm saying? But if that fasting is not backed with prayer and, you know, doing things according to the way that the Most High wants you to do them, then, you know, you're really just fasting in vain. We don't want to fast in vain. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that when we fasting that, you know, all the glory and praise and honor going to the Most High Yah. Otherwise, you just doing a vain and a lame fast. You feel me? So, you know, but you know, that was a that kind of ties into what I'm talking about. But, you know, getting back to, you know, the lecture at hand. He says, yeah, okay, hold on. Let me see what you're saying. It says, yes, brother, that's why Yahshua fasted to deal with greed, and we need to do it to loose the voice of the enemy and hearken to the voice of the Almighty Yahshua. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, that's very important, you know. But, um, you know, getting back to what we talking about here, my goal and purpose for, you know, the theme of this particular live stream, you know, being a being a priority and not just an option. You know, yes, we should swap eating it with prayer and reading the word. I know you meant to say reading the word, even though you spelled it out. World. I know how these phones get, bro. Amen. Yeah, amen. All praises, man. You know, definitely spiritual warfare out here. You know, definitely spiritual warfare out here, bro. You know, but what I'm saying, getting back to the main topic of discussion here: are you a priority and not an option? A lot of times we are just an option, and here's why. Because if we find ourselves in a position where we're an option and we're not a priority, that means there's still work we need to do spiritually. That's exactly what that means, man. A lot of times you'll find brothers, you know, they'll go through a situation with females, right? But they don't wanna hold themselves accountable. You feel me? What I'm saying? That's where I'm kinda different at, man. And also other brothers like, what I'm saying, Ringo and New Breed and Mark the Messenger. So that's what separates us from a lot of other brothers, man, and that's why our channels are growing. Is that you can't just put everything off on a female. And yes, Satan did go to Eve first, and yes, the woman is more susceptible to the vices and the machinations of the devil. We know this already. So since we know this already, and we know that we're gonna have to be the ones that's stronger spiritually, then we need to ask ourselves, okay, am I that? Am I spiritually strong enough to be able to, you know, deal with a relationship and everything that comes with that? And if we're really honest with ourselves, our spiritual strength comes in ebbs and flows, you know what I'm saying? As sometimes we're stronger than others. If we're 100% honest with ourselves, we're not always this spiritual stalwart that can take on anything, because guess what, man? You're a human being. You might like to think of yourself as that, but are you really? 99 times out of 100, you're not always that, man. If brothers will be honest with themselves, and that's a lot of the problem, man. Brothers don't be honest with themselves, man. You know, life does happen. You're gonna have times in your life where you're not really feeding on the word like you would want to, and that can make you weaker spiritually. Because you're not feeding on God's word. So, that's where it comes time to, you gotta take time, and you gotta spend time with yourself, and you gotta, what I'm saying, evaluate where you are spiritually. And if you ain't where you need to be spiritually, man, you gotta take steps to get where you need to be spiritually. You know what I'm saying? And be honest about the stuff you gotta work on, because everybody got stuff they gotta work on, man. I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you been in this word, how long you been in this truth. You got stuff you gotta work on, dog. You know what I'm saying? Some of us might have abandonment issues behind, things that have happened to us, not just in childhood, but even things that happened to us when we were adults. Things that might still be going on as you're an adult, that just enhances your abandonment issues and anxiety and all kind of other things that might be going on with you, you know. And I'm saying that because I got stuff, you know what I'm saying? I ain't just saying that for nothing. I'm saying that from personal experience. I know I got all kind of stuff that I'm working on and I battle with on a daily, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, what I'm saying? Bottom line is this is really particularly for the fellas that, find themselves in a situation where it seems like every woman that you encounter, or say maybe the past 2 or 3 relationships that you've gone through, saying you were treated as an option and not a priority, man. If that's the situation that you find yourself in, then you got to look down and you got to dig deep within yourself and find out what it is that the most is trying to tell you that you need to work on. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm focusing on fixing me. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to say that you putting the Most High first, and it's a whole nother thing to actually put the Most High first, man. So that's what I'm focusing on, putting the Most High first. Um, you know what I'm saying? Finding out, you know, more about myself and the things that I gotta work on, and doing the will of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And just like it says in Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33, it says, you know what I'm saying, keep seeking first the kingdom and his righteousness. Whose righteousness? The righteousness of the Most High Yah. Keep on seeking first the kingdom and his righteousness. And guess what? Everything else will be given you. You know what I'm saying? We had a guarantee from Yahshua the Messiah that if we put the Most High first, then he gonna make sure that, you know what I'm saying, everything else is taken care of. And if you're the type of brother that, you know what I'm saying, has that need and the desire to have, female companionship, intimate female companionship, and you're trying to build a family and trying to build a legacy and trying to build a community, then before you can even do that, you gotta you gotta figure out what exactly does the Most High want me to do with my life right now. Right now. Right now might not be the time for you to be focusing on women. If your bread ain't, first of all, let's just keep it a buck. If your health ain't where it need to be, and your bread ain't where it need to be, then and like I said, I'm saying this, I'm not trying to preach at nobody or trying to make nobody feel no way. But if your health ain't where it need to be and your bread ain't where it need to be, you don't need to be focusing on no woman. And I myself included. My health ain't where it need to be. My bread ain't where it need to be. So guess what? That women ain't my focus right now, dog. Just keeping it funky, just keeping it a whole being. That's what the Most High is showing me. Women don't need to be my focus right now. I'm carrying, way too much weight from all of the trauma that's been going on in my life. One, two, you know, yeah, I got a 9 to 5, but you know, and what I'm saying, glad and thankful that I got a 9 to 5, but that's financially not enough to be able to support, what I'm saying, a household. And then three, you got to factor this in too. We live in a world now. We live in a different world than when, Christ and the disciples were walking the earth. You know what I'm saying? Most of the women were homemakers. We live in a world now where these women out here working just like we are. So, a lot of them don't, what I'm saying, really need you to be that so-called quote unquote provider that, what I'm saying, we're still trained to be. You feel me? So, you know, that also opens up a lot of different, you know, relationship opportunities, if you will, because some of these, when we have to just be all the way a buck with it, kind of like what New Breed and Ringo talking about. A lot of these women ain't built to be wives. Some of them, most of them, half of them are either concubines or recreational use. The vast majority of them are just recreational use. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. The vast majority of women out here are recreational use. And we out here treating these women like they Like when we out here trying to wife up women that are really recreate. They not even concubines. They recreational use. Recreational use. And we out here trying to wife them up. That's a problem. It's a huge problem, man. We can't be out here trying to wife up women that are recreational use. And, you know what I'm saying? And this is how you know if you know what I'm saying. If you got a woman that's knowing you going through something, and you know what I'm saying, financially, and she working, but she ain't trying to help you get on your feet, and she got the ability to help you get off your feet. That woman is recreational use. If you're going through health problems and you in the hospital and your woman don't come see you, she's recreational use. If you always have to be the one to make the effort to come see her, and she don't ever make the effort to come see you, she's recreational use. She's not even concubine material. Because at least a concubine would try to make forth the effort to come see you. If she know you in the hospital, she gonna come see you. Because contrary to what we've been taught, contrary to the opinion of what a concubine is, because here in the United States, you know, concubines are treated like side chicks, but a concubine is more than just a side chick. And even with side chicks, you got side chicks that'll come see you when you laid up in the hospital. Make sure you're all right. Make sure you're good. But if a woman know you in the hospital and she won't come see you, dog, she not even concubine material. She's just recreational use. And if you bring something to her attention and she don't work to try to fix it, she recreational use, man. Because like I said, even a half wife, which is what a concubine is, even a half wife, if you bring something to her attention, she'll fix it. She'll try to fix it. Like I said, I'm not just talking to be talking. I'm talking from personal experience, things that I've been through. You know what I'm saying, in relationships, both recent and in the past, man. You know what I'm saying? I've seen this firsthand and I've experienced this firsthand. You never, ever, 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 you know what I'm saying, put a woman that's in, you know what I'm saying, that's recreational use in the wifey position. Because all it does is just it just sets you up for failure in the long run, man. So, you know, I know a lot of brothers that, you know, watch the platform there in this age range, but you know what I'm saying, for those of you brothers that, you know what I'm saying, might be a little bit younger or whatever that tune into the platform, man, hey, you know, take some advice from your big bro. You know, I'm 41. You know, I done been through situations with females. You know what I'm saying? I know this firsthand, dog. You know, when whatever female you deal with, because let's just be real, the vast majority of us, we're gonna deal with females. We're gonna deal with them. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna deal with females. Even if you're not trying to, at the moment, put a woman in a wifey position, if you're just trying to, you know, have her as a concubine, you better make good and damn well that she's putting you as a priority and not an option. From Jump Street, she need to make you a priority and not an option. The moment that woman treats you like an option, dog, you gotta know how to flee, man. You got to know how to cease and desist. Because if you string it along and string it along, string it along, that's going to lead to resentment. That's going to lead to stress. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be suffering in silence. It's going to increase your anxiety. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're going to have all this built up tension that you don't want to deal with, you know? And, you know, also things that help is when you're feeling these feelings, you know what I'm saying? Prayer helps, of course, but also having somebody, at least one person, you know, to confide in, you know, saying from a spiritual standpoint, you know, somebody that you know that's not going to take the information that you give them and go spread it, you know what I'm saying, all over social media, or spread it, you know what I'm saying, all over town, and then they get back to, you know what I'm saying, individuals that you don't want it to get back to. Another thing too, um, you got to have uh, outlets, you know what I'm saying, things that you can do to take your mind off of the feelings that you have. You know what I'm saying? You got to have things that you can pour into, you know what I'm saying, at the time, you know what I'm saying, at that time, you know what I'm saying? Because one thing that's a plus, that when you're actually, you know what I'm saying, not dealing with females, is you got more free time to do whatever the hell you want to do, right? So since you got all this free time to do whatever the hell you want to do, find hobbies, find things you can pour into, man. Stay busy, stay active, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what's going to help you heal through the hurt. You know what I'm saying? Women quick to say that they need to heal, and you know what I'm saying, when they in a relationship, but at the same time, you know, if we're really honest, you know what I'm saying, men actually love harder than women, because we're already naturally guarded anyway, you know. So when we find somebody that we deem worthy of being invested into, and then, you know, they let us down or betray us or double cross us, then it puts us that much more in a situation like, man, now what I do? Now I really don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? But you got to replace all of that negative energy and all that tension. You gotta channel that and put it into something positive. You know, it's not always easy to do, you know, but at the same time, like I said, take it, you can take this from somebody that's gone through it and going through it. You know what I'm saying? You got to have outlets to channel all of that energy, you know what I'm saying, all of those negative feelings and thoughts that you're feeling. You got to take that, you got to channel that, and you got to pour it into something positive. Otherwise you're going to drive yourself crazy. Real talk. So with that being said, man, shout out to War Ready Jaden, you know what I'm saying, for being in the comments. Shout out to the 3 people that liked the video. For those of y'all that may be busy at work, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever you're doing, man, make sure when y'all look at this later that y'all bang the like button. Uh, put a comment in the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And once again, man, I appreciate all of those that have helped me get to over 300 subscribers. I know it's not a whole lot. I know my channel's kind of small, but hey, we in the building phases of this channel, man. So with that being said, yeah, man, it's your boy, Sean the Navigator, man. Peace and blessings. And I'm out to the next video, man. Peace.